The rainy season is still continuing, and so I'm still taking advantage of that and planting more vegetables in my kitchen garden. So, good morning. My name is Haoma underscore KE, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And feel free to like this video and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let me make some small breakfast here. I'm preparing I'm just warming my leftover agitheri, and that's what I'll be using to take for breakfast with some tea. So I had made tea earlier. So right now I just want to um, prepare some porridge. I cook the porridge in our outdoor kitchen because it takes long to cook. And my younger baby is the one that takes porridge. The other two take tea. So as the porridge is cooking, I just want to take some maize outside so that that is the maize that I'm going to take to the portion mill so that I can go and mill it. So I farm my own food most of the time, especially maize and beans. Here in Kenya, we take ugali a lot. Ugali is made from maize flour. So because I take ugali a lot of the time, I want to go to the portion mill and go to mill the maize. And before I do that, I have to take it outside because we preserve our maize. I do not put the preservatives, the ones that we buy at the store. So what we do here, we buy those sacks that have two polythene bags inside, and it prevents weevils from coming inside the sack. So that is the safest way to preserve your maize without putting preservatives inside. So I'm going to let it dry outside so that I will go to the portion mill later on. This is just not drying, just to make it a little bit warmer so that when you mill your flour, the flour will stay for longer. So now let me take my tea, then later on I'll head on to the farm. Today I'm planting just a few vegetables. I'm really taking advantage of the rains that we are receiving right now, because sooner or later the rains will stop, and it will be to my advantage if most of the crops have already grown. So let me serve my tea, then I'll head on to the farm. The kids had taken their tea earlier. I'm not an early bird tea taker, if I may say so. So most of the time I do other chores in the morning. Before now, I take my tea. So most of the time I take my tea at around either 10 or 9:30. That's when I take my tea. So let me just take my tea, enjoy some sun here outside because the weather is just on and off. And then after I'm done, and I will go now, I will head on now to the farm. So I had in our last video, when I was planting the apples, I showed you that my bell peppers had overgrown. So today I just want to transplant them to the farm, and because I think they had stayed there for around a month plus, and I had forgotten to check on them. So I just want to go first to the farm, start digging a few holes. I think they're around either 7 or 8. And then later on, I'm going to plant them. But also today, I'm planting the slender leaf. So that's why I'm carrying this container that has the seeds. Before I go to take the bell peppers that are under a shade, you remember me planting the baby spinach? Look at how they have really grown. Almost all the seeds have grown. The ones that I was gifted from Switzerland, they are fully grown. And because the other spinach are not doing so well, spinach with a lot of rain, not good friends. But I think I'm going to be harvesting a lot of spinach from here, so it's a win-win for me. So my son here teaches me, most of the time teaches me so many things. So he told me during my last video, if I want my seedlings to survive if they are under a shade, I should be removing them under a shade almost every day, so that they get used to the direct sunlight. Then after I've done that for almost a week, that's when I plant them to the ground. I never knew about that. He said that he was taught by his agriculture teacher. So I did that. So let me see how it goes. The spring onions that I planted the other day are really doing so well. But the spinach, most of them did not survive. Even the red onions on the other side are doing so well. And soon we are going to be harvesting some red onions here. And so let me just dig a few holes. I think I'm going to dig 8 or 7, and then start planting. So our bell peppers had become so tall. I think I wish I planted more of them in just one container, because they all survived. The ones that I planted, I used to plant, I was planting 2 or 3 seeds in one container, and they grew so well. I think this is the best style to plant now, the bell peppers, because I'm used to planting on a seed bed, and then they tend to take so long, or sometimes even most of them die. But I think planting in a container is easier than just planting on the seed bed. So I'm almost done planting all the seedlings. I think I'm remained with either one or two. Yes, I'm remained with two. So I just want to plant them in a few holes that are here, and I'm also putting the sawdust. Sawdust is a very good compost manure. When it rots, it's very efficient. So, and also it acts as a very good mulch. So if you have sawdust, just use it in your farm. If you do not get the cow dung compost manure or the goat or the chicken coop, just use the sawdust and it works so well in your farm. So I'm going to finish with this last one of the bell peppers. Then after I'm done here, I'll head on to straight to the other side to start planting the slender leaf, which is also called mito in our local language. So my farm manager had um, Doug. He always helps me out in digging the farm, and so he had also sectioned this area. So I just want to dig the smaller trenches. I always tell him not to dig the trenches for me because I always do not know when I'm going to plant the seeds. So I prefer just doing it for myself. And yesterday it rained a lot. Even the farm is very muddy. So let me just dig the shallow trenches and then start planting the seeds. And so, because the seeds are always small, you can choose either to just spread the seeds on top of the ground and just try to dig it with a few sticks or even a panga so that the seeds can enter inside, or you can just dig shallow trenches and then throw the seeds in the trenches with some compost manure and then cover it up with just a few soil. So these are the seeds that I have. You remember me saving these seeds the other time? So there are so many. This can plant even a very big space of land, and I dried it up and then store them. So that is just how I save my organic seeds. And just planting, when you're planting them, just throw them directly to the ground, just a little bit of them, and then just cover it. That's how I plant my slender leaf, the jute leaves, and also the cowpeas. That's how I plant them. And these are one of my favorite vegetables, the indigenous. I'm a lover of indigenous vegetables. So here you will find me planting the spider plant, the jute leaves. The jute leaves are also called murenda. The slender leaf is what we call mito here as a local language. The spider plant is what we call here a saga in our local language. Somebody asked me if spider plant is mrenda or something. I can't remember that comment well, but spider plant is what we call here saga. or some tribes call Chisaka. Like us we call Chisaka. Saga most of the time are the tribes from the Nyanza. They are the ones that call Saga. So I love planting indigenous vegetables because of their nutritional value. So if the cabbages did not grow well, I always do not mind. If it is an indigenous vegetable, I always try as much as possible to continue planting until it grows. So I am done planting, and that will be it for us here in the farm. And when you're covering, just cover them with a little bit of soil, because you can see the seeds were very tiny. So if you cover with a lot of soil, they will not grow. And in my next video, I'll show you the progress of our saga and also the progress of the what do you call, coriander or dania that I planted the other time. So let me go to the house, freshen up, and then prepare some lunch for the kids. So before I prepare some lunch, it has started raining, so let me remove my maize from outside, because if it is rained on, I'll have done zero work from now, because the purpose of just putting it outside, it was to just to keep it warm, a little bit warm, because it has stayed in the store for some time. So we always do that. When you want to go into the posho mill, you make sure you put your maize outside on the sun, so that it gets warm a little bit, and then you go to the posho mill. Esi, hebu ngoja mama. Ja. Si mzito. So I had harvested the carrots, a few carrots, just a few of them. So I just want to prepare some lunch with the carrots and some onions. I think I'm remaining with a few red onions, but they're very tiny right now. I think because they have stayed for so long, and then they are inside the ground. Maybe that's the reason. So let me just prepare some lunch. For lunch, we are taking githeri. When the kids saw me taking githeri in the morning, they said, "Mom, we want also githeri right now." So that's what I'm preparing for them. So now I've already cut the onions, so let me just fry them just a little bit, just golden brown or a little bit cooked, and then use the ginger I harvested here in the farm, some ginger and some garlic. So I'm pounding the garlic and the ginger all together, and then put it in the fire, let it cook, and then add all the other vegetables inside, and then let them cook a little bit, cover them, and then put our githeri inside. So I have already served for the kids, and come, Essie. So I have already served for the kids. Let me serve mine and then so I had prepared also some rice, and I have already served for the kids. So we are taking githeri with some rice and some avocado. So that's our lunch for us today. So if you have watched this video till the end, thank you so much Be blessed. I will see you in my next video. It's bye bye.